and I wanted to show you this video of what's going on in the Congo these days with cobalt mining, which is the main element that they need for making mobile phones and electric cars, which are being sold so heavily in the West, basically. And you know, we got people walking around in this country who talk about, you know, there's slavery and poverty going on here, when I don't think they fully understand on the level it's going on in other countries. So that was my main kind of reason that I want to show you this. But
I mean, as I'm an African. You know what I mean, I was born and raised in Africa. So I can tell you from my perspective, like here in the West, I live a privileged lifestyle. People in the West, they are completely disconnected to poverty. They actually don't understand poverty. They don't understand the hardships of poverty. They don't understand the pain that it causes people. They really don't understand. I find it laughable that a lot of people in the West talk about being poor when they have free healthcare, when they have free schools, when they literally have every level of government support that you can imagine. I would invite anyone in the West to go. I mean, I grew up with children that ate from garbage bins. Do you understand? So I would invite anyone in the West to go back to Africa or seriously live there, okay? And seriously immigrate there and live under that system and see the reality of what it means to actually. I'm not talking about the type of person that goes to Africa and then they think of, you know, and then they know that they've got like almost like a support plan back home. You know, they know that this is only for a certain amount of time. You know, I want someone to actually immigrate there and live under that reality. And then they will understand fully what it's actually to be an African. A lot of people in the West have no idea what poverty really is. They are talking nonsense, pure nonsense. They don't know what it really means to starve. They don't know what it really means to not have any idea of what your future is going to look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my opinion on that, bro.
Let's have a little look. So when you got when you got cars using fuel,
That's right. Yeah.
fuel is not such slavery intense as stuff like that, and you bring a new car in that's going to use electric and needs this component for it. Can you see where their selling point on electric cars saving the environment is actually completely missing out this point of the way with the way you're going to mine for that mineral that's going to make your electric cars?
Why don't they just pay them a decent amount of money?
That's it. They could.
Why don't they
could.
just
make conditions good?
Yeah.
And pay them well.
That's the part that I don't get.
Yeah.
Why don't they just do that?
I think that's the evil part of humans. Basically, they can see a situation which they can exploit.
But I want to look at the reasons why. I want to look at why they won't do that.
I mean, that's it. Basically, I thought it was. I mean, there's other documentaries you can watch. Watch on it, but yeah, cool. All right, should we watch something else?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you want me to type in? Or?
Oh my days! No. I'm still thinking about the
Cobalt.
that video, that Cobalt video.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit shocking. It's a bit.
Yeah, I need to do some serious research on that.
Yeah. I probably need to do a bit more as well. But
it brought back some memories, and it just made me realize how privileged I am.
Yeah, me too. That I was when I first saw it, and I've seen a few of these. I was completely shocked as well, and I was like, I don't think, and it's something that I haven't heard about. I don't hear people talking about this.
No. I'll be honest with you.
It's a hidden thing.
I've heard about Cobalt, but I've never. I can count on my fingers the amount of people I've heard it from.
Yeah,
I would say about 3 or 4 people that have mentioned it. This is not something that I hear consistently all the time. This is not news to me. You know what I mean? Like, news would be you're hearing it every single day.
Oh,
so on and
it's
so
it's
forth.
pushed under the carpet.
Yeah, yeah. It's as if, and no one ever mentions it. And the fact that you brought it up, as you know, I wasn't even expecting this today.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it brought memories from back home, Kashitu, where I grew up, and because I wasn't in poverty, but I saw poverty because my mom used to feed those children and I used to play with them, and you know, and just to see that this is now a reality in Africa. I mean, it's like things haven't changed.
Things haven't changed, and it's another point with this slavery thing. If you hear people still seem to go on about slavery from the olden days, it makes less. It almost kind of degrades people going through slavery now, because we just had the World Cup in United Emirates.
Yeah,
the people who made all the stadiums
yeah,
were all slaves from India and Bangladesh and Pakistan and those countries. And yeah, they were slaves to make the stadiums, but they've been slaves in that part of the world for a long time, and they still are.
yeah.
And it's just something people mention once. You hear about it like in small snippets once or twice. It's happening all over. So, in North Korea produces sex slaves for China. And it's. I don't think it's ever stopped.
I think only a slave knows what it's like to be a slave.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people who talk about other people's lifestyle as if they are going through it themselves. That's why I say only a slave knows what it's like to be a slave.
Yeah.
People in the West are not slaves.
Yeah.
The fact that they would use, to me, I find it offensive. I find it offensive that a black person will try to equalize himself to the level of suffering that a real slave has gone through, and claim some kind of, I don't know, moral superiority over that, when you haven't gone through that level of hardship, when you haven't gone through that level of suffering, that pain, that distress.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can speak like that because when I went through the war, I know what that feeling of I can die at any moment. I know the feeling of desperation. I know the feeling when you feel literally completely naked. You are literally at any moment you can die. You are literally at the mercy of another human being, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing anyone around you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. That level of desperation when you feel like it's so hopeless, it's so empty, and you give in because there's nothing you can do about it. I can't say that anyone here in the West goes through that. No, you don't. But I find it disrespectful that they can even equalize their hardships today to the suffering of slaves.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing, and it's kind of an extreme example of the victim. People using this victim
mentality.
Victim mentality. That's it.
It's very narcissistic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just narcissistic as hell. For you to try to claim you know something when you don't know that there's something. You don't know it's like slavery still exists today.
Yeah. It's all over the world.
But they're still talking about slavery that happened 500 years ago.
Exactly.
Sorry. It went on for 400 years. Sorry. They still talking about that slavery. So you didn't go through that slavery, and you haven't even gone through the level of poverty that normal African people go through in Africa. You haven't even gone through that level of poverty, let alone Slavery is much worse than that. So if you haven't gone through that, how can you talk about slavery? I just find it disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
I find it disrespectful. Just watching this video, it just tells me, first of all, that on a personal level, that my people are still going through it. That there's still corrupt governments in Africa. That the West is still exploiting it. That's what that lets me know. And it's all for what? So that people can have mobile phones here.
That's it. Yeah. That.
Don't get me wrong. Mobile phones, you know, mobile phones are, for example, you can communicate quicker with mobile phones. You can get things done quicker. You said the Romans, they built roads, and that's how they were able to conquer a lot of nations, because they built roads. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you know, that was a form of communication type thing, you know? And mobile phones are very similar to that. Do you see what I'm saying? But regardless, bro, morally speaking, it's just what people use mobile phones for today, and the sacrifice that people the pain, the desperation that people are facing for the enjoyment of someone else here in the West. You know, I just find that wrong. I just find that wrong.